Looks like a different planet.
It does look like a different planet.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Today, we're still in Alberta, we're still in Canada, we're still north of Fort McMurray in the oil sands. We're back here at the base mine, Suncor, Millennium mine. We're here today though with North American construction. I am in the bucket of a Hitachi EX5500, and today we're just checking out some contracting work. The premise, for the simplest way I can put it, the premise of North American construction's work here
Today, Junior?
sorry, it's cold, I can't think, is to essentially stay ahead of the mine. So right behind this berm is the mine. From here, that way is a lot of their work. They are out advancing, removing overburden, building ramps, building roads, doing whatever needs to be done ahead of the bigger shovels down below that the mine runs to prepare for the shovels, for the big trucks, for the oil sand mining. So that's what's going on here. We're seeing a little bit of North Americans work here. They work at most of the oil sand mines up here, and they work across Canada and also do a little bit of work in the States. So let's go check it out. This is an old tailings pond. During the processing, as we've explained, it's mixed the oil sand with hot water that separates the oil, and then that sand is considered tailings, which is then pumped out into these big areas. So all of this, all the way out there, is an old tailings pond. It's not issue, but challenge is this pond is sitting on ore, is sitting on oil sand that they need to mine. So what they're doing is they're placing all of this material. You can see these dozers pushing this material out into this pond. And what that's doing is it's squeezing that mud and muck sitting on top of this tailings pond further out. They're making all of this a lot more stable. So now they can come in with shovels and mine all of this traditionally like they've done in the other parts of the mine. So they're actually gonna mine through an existing tailings pond to reach the oil sand down below, which is pretty amazing. But it takes all of this work, all of this material placement to make it even suitable to mine in the first place. If they tried to mine it as is, it would be muck. They wouldn't be able to get through it. Ooh, it's cold. So this is still the same tailings pond, but a lower elevation. They're coming in here with the Hitachi 5500 behind me, and they're stripping that first layer, that stuff that they've already squeegeed out maybe a year ago or whatever it was. They're starting to get rid of. But to get in here, because it's so soft, they have to sub-X a few feet. They have to bring material in here with their haul trucks, push it out there, compact it with that D10, and then that gives this 5500 a strong enough base to walk out on there and load more trucks with that face. But for right now, it's at the dentist. Big shovel. A lot of people ask how they change out the teeth on these big machines, and I always say, well, they use a crane. What's the weight on one of the teeth?
Together like that, probably about 750 pounds.
One tooth, about 750 pounds. Row of teeth on this shovel. This is the 5500, so it's a big shovel, but definitely not the biggest. The biggest is the 8000, which we're about to go see. Just outside of the pit right now at the Millennium mine. They're digging a ramp down into the pit with a EX8000 and 797B haul trucks. Behind me is a Hitachi 5500. This is a backup shovel, so if the EX8000 goes down for whatever reason, they have this shovel ready to go to keep production moving. The interesting thing is, see these red hoses going up into the engine area here? This is to keep the engine warm. So all that would be needed is to warm this machine up, warm the hydraulics up, and then it would be ready to work in about 30 minutes. Without this, it would be much longer for everything to come up to operating temperature. So they keep this running at all times to keep the engine warm at all times, just in case they need this spare to go to work. So why is a backup needed here? Is this, they need this ramp in by a certain time?
It's just, it's one of our main fleets. So yeah, we always have a backup just in case, just to keep the production going and the trucks flowing.
That's amazing. The reason why the back end of that truck is essentially smoking, that's not exhaust. That is the vapor coming off of that hot air interacting with the really cold air today. The reason why it's out of the back of the truck is because they run the exhaust from the engine through the dump box and out the very back. That keeps the box, that bed warm, which prevents material or helps prevent material from sticking. You don't want material sticking to your dump bed because that means you're bringing it back here. That's inefficient, so that keeps the bed nice and warm. And
Nice.
yeah, that must be nice. I need a little bit of that exhaust right now. Because from here I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shovels. And all of that is the mine behind me there. All of those little ants running along, scurrying along, are all 400-ton haul trucks. So that's it with North American Construction Group. Thanks to North American for having us out. Thank you to Suncor for giving us permission to be with North American today. That gives you just a little glimpse as far as what it takes to prepare the mine for the actual mining. Because it's a big mine, they run really big equipment. If you didn't notice, a typical mine contractor doesn't run EX8000s, but here in the oil sands, they do. So I've had a great day. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one. Stay dirty, everybody.